Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is Sunday, December 28th. Wow, the year is almost gone. And I have to tell you all, this has been an amazing, amazing year. Welcome to our Sunday edition of our Leadership Development Call. My name is Miriam Kareem, and I'm so happy to have you all here to help learn how to grow your businesses from the amazing, amazing Coach Will Zanders. Um, quick trip to the newbie corner. So today I sat down and with a potential client. Hopefully, she will be a client and maybe in the future a team member as far as a business builder. But it was something really crazy happened. Something happened with her credit card. A lot of times, a lot of people run into issues when they make a purchase from a new company, someplace they've never been before, and their credit card will flag it as fraud. And I also explained to her at that time it was a great opportunity to tell her. I said, well, we actually have our own fraud department, and there are times when, sometimes when a randomly they will check to make sure that it is a legitimate transaction. And that's what I explained to her. That's what I feel secure about how amazing our company is and how we have our own legal team to handle those things. I explained to her, if you do have your own company by yourself, you have to be responsible for legal fees. If somebody decides to you know come at you or sue you, but we don't have to worry about that. We have an amazing, amazing company, amazing leadership from Paula Scarcella and Ben Scarcella, our amazing formulator. We have so much to offer, and all you basically have to do, remind people that they're in good hands when if they decide to join this company. They're in our company. They are in amazing hands. Um, if they decide to make a purchase and just stay as a customer. They're in amazing hands. So please keep that in mind and make sure, be confident when you talk about your business. Be confident when you talk about the products and services that we offer. When you talk to potential clients and business builders. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Will Zanders. He is an amazing, amazing teacher. Seven-figure earner in the network marketing industry. That is just amazing to find that with someone that is always willing to pour into the team, the company as a whole, and help you get to where your business needs to be. So, Coach Will Zanders, are you available, sir?
Miriam, I am available. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that kind introduction. I appreciate you. I was having some internet issues earlier, so I don't know, something in the water. I don't know, but but I'm glad that all got worked out. I want to thank also Coach Marcus Jones for hosting this Zoom for us. All right, appreciate that. A lot of people don't know that having a certain Zoom as often as we do Zooms and how long the Zooms can go in the recording and everything, that's not free. A lot of people think all Zoom accounts are free, which they aren't. Okay, so we thank Coach Marcus for that. I have a Zoom account and still don't know how to operate it, which just goes to show you you don't have to be a technical genius to do really well at this industry. Have I gotten really good at AI and other type of technical stuff? Sure, but as far as this AI, social media, Zoom, webinar, conference calls. I didn't know any of that when I became a multiple six-figure earner in this industry. I knew nothing. It's not even necessary. So if you're good at all of the technical stuff, that's good, but you don't need that to become successful in this industry. I just want to be very clear about that. But that being said, got a couple of quick announcements. I don't know if Eve's on the call from Trinidad and Tobago. Eve, if you are on the call, we have our call. I'll be on the phone with you after this. Exciting things going on internationally, and just don't let me forget. So as soon as this is over, message me on Facebook and let's hop on our call and we'll do our international thing. Let's see, Vegas. Whew, all right, Vegas is going to be a blast for anybody that can attend. As usual, there are some people who couldn't attend last minute, so we do have some in-person tickets available, and people are still reaching out to purchase online tickets. Those tickets are $97 to attend in person or online. And yep, people are still getting those. So it's going to be a blast. And our end of the year awards that we do, uh, the award ceremony that we have in Vegas on the second day of the event, I think that's on Tuesday. That is going to be the end of the year awards for 2025, but we're going to be doing it in 2026 because it's just so early in the year that we have in that event. So that being said, that's that. We are also on Tuesday. We will be completing our training on the 30 plus reasons why people will quit your business, and understand no matter all those reasons, all of us who are what you would consider successful in this industry have gone through every one of those. We've experienced every reason that you'll hear as we complete that series on Tuesday night about why people quit, and not why people don't join. That's a separate thing. Why people join then quit. We've experienced all of those, and we still didn't quit. So just because hey, that's a really good reason. A lot of them are really good reasons. They're incredibly valid reasons. About 80% of the reasons why people quit. But just because people quit, it doesn't mean you have to give up on your dream in this industry. Okay. So before we get started into the actual training tonight, which should be kind of fun, our second to last training of the year, we always like to give people an opportunity to, kind of voice their opinions and vent and things like that. So if you're holding any frustration, doubt, if you don't like the way we do things, if you have any issue with the way we do things, tonight is your night to pop into the comments right now. I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds to a minute. This is your opportunity to be heard in front of your peers. Coach Will, I just hate the way you do A, B, and C. You know, Coach Marcus said, this is your chance. If this is it, I don't want to hear about it to the end of 2026 when we do another Zoom like this. This is a leadership call. Everybody's an adult. And anytime you're really doing your best to manage an organization or run an organization, you're going to have a lot of behind the scenes chatter, a lot of chats, a lot of conversation. Oh, I don't like how they do. I don't like. Well, say something. Don't be scared. Don't be a coward. Say something. Look, nobody's going to jump through the Zoom and choke you out. It's okay. But we got to give people an opportunity. And people rarely take us up on this for two reasons. Number one, they realize when they have an opportunity to finally, be heard and come up with some solutions live in front of their peers that, you know what? I would really sound stupid if I said that in public. It's probably just some hater talk. That's normally what it is. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a valid gripe, a valid like, man, I really just wish you wouldn't do blank. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is they're not on the Zooms. So a lot of times when you have your teams, and we hear this, or we used to hear this stuff a lot, and we were building our teams, people will complain about the support structure or things of that nature, but they would never plug in. Sometimes they're at events, sometimes they're not. And sometimes they are not on the Zoom. So you're really not plugged in enough to know what's going on anyway. But we still got to give everybody an opportunity. And while we'll take about another 30 seconds, we'll take about another 30 seconds for people to build up the courage. Go get you a shot and come back and type your heart out and get it over with. Because when you start hearing that type of stuff later in the year from people, you'll be like, coach gave y'all a chance. I don't know where you at. You had a chance to say something. And at the last event, we actually had an individual that had some what I thought would be valid complaints, and they didn't want to do anything at the event. I said, okay, well, we'll talk after the event. And we're talking, I think it's in there, we're talking after the event. This individual had what I thought, I didn't think it was a big deal, but they felt some type of way about it. And I was like, good, tell me everything. And they're making a big deal about it, right? And so what ends up happening is after I hear this person, I ain't say nothing. I let them get as animated and emotional and passionate as they wanted to be. Just get out your feelings, get it out, man, get it all out. And I said, okay, good. You sure? You done? You sure? This is all you got? I said, yeah, that's it. I said, okay, here is solutions. And I gave this individual two solid solutions that I guarantee would have solved all of their problems. And I learned something very interesting in that moment. That person said, I don't want to do those solutions. I said, okay, do you have any solutions? And I got blank stares. I got goofy talk. I was like, all right, man, I'm out. and that's kind of how that thing goes. And this is why. We rarely tell you how difficult it is to operate consistently at a certain level for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years or longer. We rarely tell you that. So, a lot of times, as you're on your journey, you'll experience the frustrations of anything can frustrate you when you're trying to build something special. And we respect that and we honor that. That being said, please know we are doing the best we possibly can. Trust and believe. And if you ever have things that you think are constructive that can help the entire organization do well, we want to hear those. But please do that in a constructive manner, um, for all the reasons that you want to be respectful. All right. So that being said, um, let's see if we got anything going on. Anything going on in the questions, anything at all. Kyla, training video. We got tons of training videos, Kyla. Yeah, you can reach out to myself or Coach Marcus or anybody in the upline, Miriam, Seymour, and our coaches. And yeah, we can get you those for sure. Yep, yep. All right. Don't see anything. Yep. All right. No, no gripes. Okay, no worries. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Tiara says, I would like consultants to have a better sense of community. What happened to me with the coffee situation if someone snitches completely wrong and so out of pocket? Girl, get used to that. That's a great comment from Tiara. So people who don't know, and Gwen said support a Facebook post. Yes, Gwen, we will support that, whatever that is after the call. Yep, sure will. So Tiara had a great point right there. And what Tiara was saying is a sense of community amongst the consultants. Now, I didn't get all of the details about that, had nothing to do with me, but I will tell you, what happened is very, very common in the industry. I've seen it happen hundreds of times over the years, and I don't think it'll ever really stop. So what happens is, just for people who don't know, this is a leadership call. Put your big boy and big girl pants on. Tiara bought a coffee product or something like that from another network marketer's company, which is very common. This is normal. I buy products to support people in other network marketing companies all the time because either we don't have the product and I really want it, and I would rather purchase the product from somewhere else. Now, that's totally normal, nothing wrong with that. However, and for the record, Tiara is someone who does very well at our business. She has another network marketing business that she's super, super good at. No, no issues there because she does things the right way, right? And so what ends up happening is this individual that she bought the product from, I don't know this individual very well, but they posted on their Facebook that she had joined their team. Now that is an issue. And it's not an issue because if she wanted to join the team, she would have joined the team, but she didn't. She just wanted to buy a product. And so that leader said, ooh, Tiara Moore bought a product from me. My business obviously needs the help. It obviously needs the help. So I'm going to post that Tiara joined my team, and that'll get people this. Ooh, if Tiara Moore joined, then it must be legit. Now that's kind of sketchy. Okay, the same thing happened to me last month, and I went directly to the corporate office and owners of that company and ate that person up. They might have got terminated. I have no idea, but don't play with me like that because that's crazy. All right. Now that wasn't the end of it. Apparently, someone on in our organization, I don't know who, when people things like this happen, I personally tell people, don't tell me who said nothing because I don't want to look at people crazy. That's why. A lot of times when people say, "Oh, Coach Will, so and so said this about you," I say two things. Number one, don't tell me who it is because I don't want to look at them crazy when I see them. And number two, if I see them and I know who it is, I'm gonna ask them in person, "Do you have an issue?" And they will not have an issue. I can assure you they will not have an issue. They zero issues. All right. Super polite. That's how that goes. All right. But that being said, someone saw that and just ran to one of our leaders on the team and said, ooh, Tiara, she joined another team. She joined another team. And that's unfortunate. I don't know who it was. I don't care who it was. But that's not the right way to go about that at all. And it's definitely somebody who isn't plugged in because they would know that if you ever have an issue with somebody for whatever reason, it ain't got nothing to do with your wallet, nothing to do with your purse. You can go to that direct individual. If let's say Tiara did join. Now, Tiara, I'm not picking on you. I'm just because this is a great example. So thank you for sharing this. This needs to be talked about. Uh, and I'll tie it into community in a second. That's why I love these end of the year calls. Um, the individual, if Tiara had joined another company, so what? Number one, but number two, that person was so taken aback by the thought of that they got in their emotions and never reached out to Tiara and said, "Hey T, just kind of curious, I would ask. If I really cared that much, I would ask, but I don't." Okay, so it's America, right? People do whatever they want to do. People work two, three, four, five companies. It's just that typically at a certain level, you don't work multiple companies that much because you found one that really pays all the bills and you want to double down on that in the time you have. But that being said, that was not the right way to handle that situation at all. That issue was started by the person who sold Tiara that product, and then the issue was compounded by a member of our organization thinking it was an awesome thing to do to go complain about that. So that being said, uh, you from a community standpoint, you'll have great community, and we got about as good as any. I'm gonna be honest, we do. You go to any other company that's growing, it's gonna be 10 times worse. And it really comes down to ego, comes down to jealousy, comes down to all of that. So, and that's happened to all of us before. So my only advice would be handle it the way you handled it, T. Whatever made you feel good about, handle, hey man, stop, whatever, however you post it, because I commented on your post. Handle it, get it off your chest. That's the best thing you could possibly do about it. I doubt it'll happen again in the future. Um, but just know it to you in the future, but just know it's very, very common in the industry. Not a whole lot we could do about it because this particular industry it's a volunteer army and nobody has to be here. And that's the tough part. It's a volunteer army. There is no repercussions for people ever quitting or leaving or anything like that. And so people be doing just weird, goofy type stuff. So that being said, I'm super, super sorry that happened. I doubt it'll happen again to you, but I do know for sure it will probably continue to happen in the industry because this is a weird industry, and a lot of people will be looking for ways to leverage either who they are within the organization, and then they brand themselves as that shady type of cat, or other leaders at other organizations will try to leverage your success and other people's success to try to make themselves look even better, which always backfires too. But thank you for bringing that up. I wish I had a honest, real solution for you, but we can't control people. We just can't control them. And we do the best we can from a standpoint of just community and having fun and everybody being together. But you'll notice that the reason that works is because the people who don't really jive with the type of community and family and mutual respect that we have for everybody, they don't really be around long. They'll be around for a while, but after a while, that ego kicks in or that jealousy kicks in or anything going on with them kicks in. And eventually they'll just kind of work themselves out of the picture. That is what I can tell you. And that's why we still here with the same company since 2019. I wish it was street percentage, Tommy. I wish it was people that were really talented and doing a lot of volume and things like that. I wish it was. It's normally, I don't know who it is, but normally it's people who have they never made six figures or seven figures in a company ever. But that being said, all right, let's get back to it. Got some more comments in here. Roz. Yes, Roz Corporate is working on that. I know they are super, super busy toward the end of the year, but I did follow up with them last week, and that is actually in process. So yes, ma'am, there will be changes in the back office to assist with visually impaired. Yes, ma'am. Going a little bit slower than I wanted to, but they're doing the best they can, and that will be done. Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Purchase small business, get a product. Should Amazon? Oh no, yeah. Just I don't even think Tiara, me, and nobody else would even give it no excuses to people. You don't. Nobody has to explain their actions by buying product. It was just an unfortunate situation all the way around. But those happen. No worries there. And when you're a visible person and people really respect you and what you're doing, that's why they try to leverage you. If Tiara wasn't an incredible leader, an incredible individual, that person might have never done that. The other company person might have never done that. And if she wasn't doing some amazing things, whoever was running around snitching, they wouldn't have did that either. So, but so really, at the end of the day, it's a testament to Tiara. Yeah, boot camp day 1 and 2. Boot camp is going to be jerseys on day 1 and or day 2 if you want to, and all black if not on either day. So you can have some color in it, obviously, but we're going all black just because it makes for better pictures for everybody. Even if you don't have a jersey, it's still a very clean, formal look. Doesn't have to be business casual. It can be a black T-shirt and black jeans, however you want to do it, but it just looks really good on the page. It's a very, very classy look. Let's go. Mimi, let's see, Miss Pooley, where we at? Where we at? Group set up 1 week before the online class, so the group will be up on January 4th. Greta, right after New Year's. Mimi says, I would love a 2 week head start. Ooh, that is a good thing. Now, Mimi, I'm gonna tell you, this is something we have wanted for a very long time. I hate to break it to you. I doubt we'll get it, and this is why. Um, so just so y'all who watching this on recording, Mimi says, I would love a 2 week head start on new product releases to advocate prior to releasing to the public. Girl, we have wanted this forever. I'm gonna tell you how bad it used to be. It used to be Paul and Alexandria would get so excited about a new product that they created, they would just put it on the website. And then I'll get a text from Marcus hey man, did you see we got ABC on the website? I go, nah, what is that? We had no idea. They just get hype and they just get them on the website, right? And then we have to remember that HBN especially, but Go to Sana too, those companies were in existence for years before we ever got there. I think Go to Sana, for example, was in business since 2011, HBN probably shortly thereafter. And there are people who still shop, who we will never meet, who aren't building the business, who are just customers on mailing lists. So they get them products up on the website as soon as they can. And I don't really like that. I like to have at least a week. 2 weeks can be a bit much, but I like having at least a week. I would rather a month head start, but the best we've been able to do so far is like 2 or 3 days. Right? I would tell you a lot of times with the products, just full transparency, we get the information and y'all get it on whatever the next call is. Like if we get the information, hey, we're about to do this, I'm like, oh, here we go. When the product coming out? Oh, it's coming out Thursday. I'm like, dang, but we got to rush and then talk about the product on Monday and Tuesday. So there's rarely enough time. We don't get enough time to do it. And that's the company's decision. We're glad we've got them to do 2 or 3 days. Hopefully in 2026, as new products come out, we'll be able to get that up to a week, hopefully. But Mimi, that's a great suggestion. We are all on the same page. It is just has not happened like that yet. But we be trying. Girl, we be trying. Yeah, no, Shauna, I agree. And Shauna, they do tell the leaders, but they just they tell us and we don't get enough heads up on. That's just me being honest, because no company's perfect. The reappearance note, Rick, that's a good question too, man. I was told in I think it was October or November that there was a maybe a 2 or 3 week thing, and we were supposed to have Nova like 2 or 3 weeks after that. So it should have been early November. That didn't happen. It might have just fell through the cracks, but I'm gonna make a note to follow up with that. I'm actually gonna reference Nova tonight on this call, Rick. I was talking about that earlier, but thank you, brother. I appreciate it. In the interim, for people who still want the amazing results of Nova Coffee, one thing I highly recommend you do, you can get the coffee of your choice and put a scoop of Mind in it. And then Mind, according to Alexandria, Mind with any other coffee you drink, if you put a scoop of Mind in there, Mind is what makes Nova Nova, with the exception of the chicory. Okay, so if you want the close thing you get to Nova, you'll get Community Coffee, because Community Coffee has chicory in it. You add a scoop of Mind, okay, the gold, the powdered Mind, you add that, and now you actually have basically Nova Coffee, which is crazy, but that's from Alexandria. You put a scoop in there, and then you can go with there. All right. Gold standard kit should still be, that should not be off the website, Tom. If it's off the website, let me know. That should still be up. And Shauna, as far as complete, it was probably last month. I went to there is a lot of caffeine in community, Lillian, yes, but being from New Orleans, we were raised on caffeine and whiskey. So yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And Nova has caffeine, but not as much as community. You are correct. But we do the best we got with what we got. All right. Or we do the best we can with what we got until we get something better. So I took a note for Nova. As far as complete, everybody misses complete. Gwen's in Baton Rouge. Let's go. Stop and tell my mom and daddy, hey, Gwen, go bring them some beignets or something. Just talk to them. They'll love you. So as far as complete, I talked to Paul about a month ago about complete, and it does not look like complete's going to be coming back for 20,000 different reasons. If it does, that'll just be a really great blessing, but I do not anticipate that coming back. Shauna, because you are the number one advocate of complete, and she didn't all the way rule it out, but it is not looking good for complete at all. It's just not looking good. And so I have a bag of complete. I think, Shauna, if you'll be in Vegas, because you are the number one fan, you are the number one Boston Celtics fan I know. Congratulations on Diamond, by the way. Uh I will bring a bag of complete. I'm pretty sure I got one bag left. I will bring that to Vegas, Shauna, and you can take my bag home with you. If I got a bag, I'm pretty sure I got one. Uh, but if I'm pretty sure I do, I don't think I do, but I'm pretty sure I do, and we'll go from there. And I have no Java Slim. I was never a fan, man. I was a Nova fan. I was never a fan of Java Slim. But we're gonna talk about coffee tonight. Now, that being said, thank y'all for your, if anybody else got any comments, by all means put those in the chat. Anybody who has something they want to say or address it, but they don't want everybody to know, you can in Zoom, you can put direct message me and then I'll read it, but I won't say your name because I don't want anybody to. But if for everybody who addressed concerns and had comments and questions publicly, I salute you. Wonderful, right? Yeah. Complete's cool. Complete's coming a big old dog food bag, man. But yeah, let me give you some hard truth. I'm gonna give y'all some hard network marketing truth right now. And this is tough. All right. Oh man, Coach Seymour and them with Java, and that's great. Yeah, the gold standard kit and the welcome home kit should both be on the website. If they're not on the website, are you looking on the right? Yeah, you must. Yeah, Douglas said he sees gold standard kit on auto ship. Yeah, give me. I got a call after this one, Tommy, with Eve. But after that, man, let me know. Thank you, Lillian and Butch. Congratulations on 40 bands. I need y'all at 50. Let's go ahead and get to 50K. But thank you for that. All right. Hard network marketing truth, and then we'll get into the training, and I'll go through it as fast as possible. I don't want this call to go too long. But thank y'all. It's very important for people to be heard and to be addressed. These I didn't know what the questions are going to be. We never know, right? We never know. And you should do that typically at the end of the year because you want to start off the good year, the fresh start, and give people an opportunity to go back. Magnesium sleep oil is still out. I have some. I don't. I mean, it's still in existence. I have some. Let's see. Gold standard kit, but got an IU for protector. Huh. Let me write that down because I just got a kit in and I had laundry detergent in there, so I will put that down. We got Nova. We got the gold standard kit. Yeah, they might just be out of stock and they got to re-up for the end of the year. Let's see, gold standard and welcome home. Got it. Okay. I will check on both of those, gentlemen. Thank you kindly. Now, that being said, and yeah, I'll get back to Doug, you and Tommy about that. Silver and iron. Now, silver, I will tell you, I don't know. I have silver. I have both of those. Not quite sure why those are out of stock, but I will say from a biomineral standpoint, we do have the best biominerals. I am not sure why they're not in stock. I will ask that. And then I'm going to give y'all some hard network marketing truth. Yeah, the chromium for sure. I just have so much of it. I haven't run out all that stuff. What I will recommend, if there's ever something you needed and HBN is out of stock on it for any period of time, I recommend you do exactly what I do. I go right over to Amazon and for example, the zinc I use is NutriCross zinc. So when we're out of zinc, the HBN zinc is out and I love it. I get the NutriCross zinc and chromium, I get a different brand of chromium. But my point is, these biominerals are so important for the human body to function. None of those I don't think existed when I first joined the company. All right. Those came later. And then, sometimes the products, they come and then they go, and that's normal. And you got your standards that are there, but some products come and some products go. Yeah, anything I need from a vitamin standpoint, I typically go to Amazon and get the one that Amazon recommends in that one. It's never expensive. I don't get paid to promote it unless you want to do an Amazon affiliate link for like a flat 4% or something like that. But that's why I don't put the links in here from Amazon links. I just want y'all to get the stuff that y'all need. It's not about nobody getting paid for it. But the zinc is very, very good from Amazon, NutriCross. And chromium, I actually get chromium from there. Whenever I run out of chromium, I've gotten it from chromium in tiny, tiny, tiny white capsules. And it's really not a lot of variation in it. The thing that made our biominerals better than Amazon biominerals still work. Let me be very clear, it still work. The thing that made ours better was Alexandria Brighton. She would picolinate, Miriam, chromium picolinate, the one with the P. And so the thing that make our products better, our biomineral line in particular, our silver, our zinc, our iron especially. Oh, our iron is so good for people who need iron. The thing that makes them special is the formulation, and they're formulated at a molecular weight that's called angstrom. Angstrom with the A, okay? Angstrom. Angstrom molecular weight. And that simply means that they are far more bioavailable than any other type uh, of biomineral on the market, not because zinc is this magical thing you can't find nowhere, but because of Alexandria's formulation abilities. It's way better than colloidal. It's way better than any capsule and things of that nature. I have some silver in the pantry right now. Just got, I'll text me after the call and I'll go see what the brand is. But it came from Amazon. So my point is, our biominerals are better. So when I'm taking the zinc from, yeah, Coach Marcus just put a great note in the chat about the extra molecules that make them so bioavailable. So the way that I have to compensate for that, when I'm taking, for example, zinc from Amazon, it may recommend 1 or 2 per day. I take 4. Okay, if I work out really hard and I'm sweating a lot, I may take 5. But again, I'm 275 pounds. I need a lot more. You may not be 275 pounds, but you probably need more than what the bottle's telling you need. But again, I got to give you all a disclaimer. Talk to your medical professional. I'm not a medical professional. Don't take my advice. I'm just telling you what I do. And it works really well for me. But I typically need, when I'm taking a brand of product that's not our brand, I do need more to get the same result. That is a fact. And that's just a testament to Alexandria. So hopefully we get those back. But these are all great points because I'll be able to address these in the email before the end of the year. All right. So let's get to a good time. I'm glad you do. All right, let's get to it. Thank y'all so much for humoring me for that 30 minutes. I appreciate that. And now we're going to talk about some end of the year leadership success traits, because if you want to get good at one thing at the end of the year, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be work on your leadership. Work on your leadership. Leadership trait number 1, okay, or A. Leadership trait A is going, and again, this is not going to be for people who, if your team is less than 20 or 30 people and half of that is customers, I'm not saying don't learn about leadership, but there's not a whole lot to lead there. You should probably be focused on building and onboarding and duplication. I'm gonna be frank. Sometimes people jump into the leadership role too soon, and then the team they have, even if it's 20, 30 people, it starts to whittle away. And I've seen that happen in our organization. I see that happen every year. Some people just jump into well, I'm a leader and I'm doing this and I'm a leadership role. And they jump into the leadership role a little too soon. And then they lose the team they have because the team wasn't large enough to have the duplication and sustain itself. I think Tommy made a great post the other day. It says something about too many Chiefs and not enough Indians, or too many, something like that. But that was the point. And I was like, yep, you ain't lying, bro. Too many coaches, not enough reps, or something like that. But the point is, that happens. So this is not necessarily a charge for you to go out, read John Maxwell books till January 11th, and then just say, I'm the greatest leader. No, not that. But these are things that you definitely want to aspire to, especially build your team and get it to some numbers that you actually have people to lead. Because if you're leading and you don't have any team or anybody following your lead, you're not leading anything. You're just going for a walk, man. You're just walking. You're not leading anything. There has to be people there. And remember, this is a volunteer army. So people only follow you if they perceive that there's some type of value from your leadership. So work on yourself as a person, and then these leadership traits will come into play. All right, leadership trait A, unpredictability. Okay, a good leader, I'm gonna tell you, a good leader is very, very difficult to box in. I know myself and many other leaders in this industry, we don't really move on a single rhythm for several reasons. Number one, predictable people are easy to stop, and we do not want to be stopped. We would like to see the vision that we have for our company and our team to have more six-figure earners organically than any other company in 2026. We want to see that, and we know that that number has to be like 46 or 4. We need like 47 people to hit 6 figures in 2026, and we can do it. That's the thing. We can do it. We would like to be that team, and it'll take about 46 more people in 2026. So if y'all want to be a 6-figure earner, I don't care if you've been here for a couple years, like Coach Seymour. And then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a six-figure earner in the next 3, 4 months. And then you just go get it over with like that. Or you a person who's brand new and say, man, I want to be a six-figure earner in 2026. It can work for you. We have people who've done it both ways, both ways. All right. I'm right in the middle, but some people do it really fast. Some people take a little longer. It's up to you. We got blueprints in place. But that being said, also leaders are very unpredictable because a lot of times, and people forget, we have lives too. We got families, lives, responsibilities, obligation, death, grief, trauma, therapy, vacations, Christmas, kids, uncles, aunties. We got everything everybody else got. We just have a lot more responsibility. And because we have a lot more, look, surgery, Tommy, look, right? Health issues, surgery, car wrecks, late flight, everything. Look, dogs, cat, thank you. Thank you. Leaders got the sense. So sometimes don't think that we're not um, really trying to love on you one on one. Like, man, we really want to reach out and support and recognize you, this, that, or a third. A lot of times, man, we just trying to figure it out just like y'all. We just have a lot more responsibility, but because we have a lot more responsibility, or we've been doing this longer, we have more income. But as anybody who makes more money knows, when you make more money, the typical inclination, especially if you have a family, is you just get a house that's a little bit bigger. You got the same type of car everybody else got, but your car might be a little bit bigger. You bank at the same bank everybody else got, but your bank account might be a little bit bigger. You got the same bills everybody else got, but your bill's just a little bit bigger. And so everybody's still about even. You got toys like everybody else got toys, but you maybe got a couple extra toys. Your toy is just a little bit bigger. Your chain might shine just a little bit brighter. It's just a little bit more. Nobody's a billionaire out here yet, okay? But just understand we're all dealing with the same stuff, man. So never feel like a leader is just not there for you or they can't this, that, and the third. Sometimes people will complain, and I hear this from people. Man, Will, I hit diamond and you ain't even recognize me. You ain't even make a banner. I did this and that. There. Like, bro, did I sponsor you? And he's like, no. And I'm like, so why are you complaining to me? And thank you for coming to me and telling me that you felt played or some type of way because I didn't do this or that or the third. Thank you, but did I sponsor you or your sponsor? No. But why you? And I had an epiphany in that moment, and they did too. In that moment, we had an understanding that people, a lot of times, and I'm going to use this figurative, not literally, people can't hit what they can't see. And a lot of times people join with sponsors that abandon them or never accomplish nothing or never want to recognize them, just want to get paid from them. But the sponsors are deadbeat. They're nowhere to be found. So they have to complain about the upline leadership or the upline or the coach or the success team or support team or the mentor. They got to complain about somebody. Okay. It's okay to recognize yourself. Let me be clear. But that being said, it's not our job to recognize people that we did not personally sponsor. We still do it so often and in so many amazing ways that people think that's normal. That's not normal. The companies normally do that. The companies normally do that, but our company doesn't do that. They put that recognition budget in the pay plan. We get paid that every Monday, right? That's in the pay plan, Chief. So, that's just one of those things. So don't think that, leaders are being unpredictable to be negative toward you at all. It is life. And I can tell you, just like my mom and dad told me, they said, son, when you have a family, you will understand. The things that I didn't understand when I was a kid, man, why y'all gotta be like this? Or why y'all blah, 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 just spoiled kid talk. I was blessed to have parents, what I'm saying? Not everybody has parents. And sometimes they would just sit me down and say, son, when you're older, when you have a family, you will understand. Okay. And if the sponsor is not doing recognition, that's cool. You can reach out to them and say, hey, my sponsor's a deadbeat. Can you do my recognition? Or just reach out, but don't automatically think we notice, we see, or even have time to do it. We be in the bathroom just as long as y'all. All right. But I will tell you, just like my parents told me, just like my mentor told me, a lot of stuff that happens and a lot of the way we do things in this industry, you might not understand yet. But when you have a larger team, when you've accomplished some things in the industry that other people write about, when you get there, which you will understand. You'll understand. I had to call one of my mentors, an old sponsor of mine from at least 3 or 4 or 5 companies ago. I had to call him years later I hadn't talked to him in years because we partied on bad terms because I was a spoiled young leader in the industry, right? I had to call him and apologize. I had to call him just to apologize for my behavior and how I was acting back then because I didn't know no better. I said, man, everything you said, but you was right. You was right. And that took a lot for me to do that. He wasn't even expecting that call, nor did he need it. It was for me. It was for me. So I could move forward and become the type of leader I want to be. Because God is not going to smile on no pride. God loves and he loves confidence, but pride, you got to watch that. And I used to be a very, very proud individual. All right. I know it's none of y'all. None of y'all dealing with pride issues. It was just me, but I get it. I get it. All right. Trait B, leadership trait B. Leaders have a very, very high stress tolerance. Woo! High stress tolerance. Okay. It's home for leaders. And leaders don't fold under pressure. They get sharper and they grow and they evolve. A leader can take a no or have somebody call something a pyramid scheme, or they could have a bad day or have somebody post something about them, or, like the stuff that happened to Tiara. A leader can have that happen. You know what Tiara did? Handled it, got right back in the game. No biggie, right? That's leadership behavior. A leader can get laughed at and still post. A leader could lose recruits and still teach the system. I remember there was a 6-month period back in 20, I don't remember year it was. Marcus will remember. It might have been 21, 2020, 2021, somewhere like at least 3 years ago. And it was 2020. He knew the story I'm about to tell. He knew the story. And my organization lost one, two, three, four 50K earners in the same 6-month period. And these were people who are very good at the business. I lost four $50,000 earners who were making $10,000 a month. Each of these individuals had went to 50,000 within their first 6 to 8 months of being here. All right. One of them went to 50,000. Two of them went to 50,000 in 5 months. That means in the 5 months, they was making an average of 10,000 a month. Not they hit 10,000 a month after 5 months. No, in 5 months, they had made 50,000. They just wasn't at 100 yet. I have four of those type of people. Two of them were personally sponsored, direct to me, and two of them were, not I would say downline, but they were in a success team. All right, but it doesn't matter. Two of them quit, and two of them got terminated the same 6-month period, and I couldn't do nothing about it with corporate to get them to not be terminated. It is what it is, and so I don't even like to think about how much volume that was, but I'm gonna let you know, leaders got to have a high stress tolerance. Some of you are not even at $50,000 in commissions yet. Imagine people making that type of volume. You're getting that type of residual income because you built the team and trained them and did the events and did the meetings and did the homies and did the calls to help them blow up their organizations. You drove to Atlanta 6 hours and trained them and then drove home. We lost four. Imagine losing that type of volume, that type of leadership, all within that short amount of time. You think your check not going to drop? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Okay, but guess what? You lose it and you still in the game. It's like I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow, whether or not somebody quits. I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow I was gonna do anyway, which is put the work in, right? And that's it. Yeah, look, thank you, Lillian. Lillian and Butch were there for that. Yeah, we lost a $300,000 or $400,000 earner last year. Lillian and Butch, no, just gone, just poof. I'm like, oh, all right, well, back in the game. So it's just how it happens, man. Pressure doesn't break leaders, pressure reveals them. Just understand that, all right? Trait C, and this is going to be tough, but a lot of leaders evolve like this over time. And it's just because this is a very difficult business to deal with, not because the business is difficult, but because you're dealing with people. The pay plan is simple. The products are simple. Reading the books and sending the message, doing the meetings, that's simple. The thing that makes this industry hard is the people. It's the people. That is the difficult part, all right? So what leaders typically develop later in their career is a perceived lack of empathy. Notice I didn't say a lack of empathy. I said a perceived lack of empathy. And you will probably develop this too as a defense mechanism to keep yourself from going insane. All right. That doesn't mean you don't love people. Okay. I want you to think of it as a type of ruthless compassion. All right. Let me be very clear about this. A perceived lack of empathy does not mean that you don't love people. You couldn't do this business if you didn't love people. It means that you don't let emotions, yours or others, sabotage results. I'm going to say that again, because that's probably the most important thing we've said so far. And I'm going to try to close out the rest in 10 minutes. A perceived lack of empathy, perceived is a very important word, because that's what it's going to look like. I want you to think of it as a type of ruthless compassion. It doesn't mean that you, as a leader, don't love people. It means that you don't let emotions, yours or others, sabotage results. You're not going to let emotions sabotage your results. Ruthless compassion is basically telling people in actions, not just words and actions, I will not co sign your excuses. I will not lower the standard to protect your soft feelings. And I care about you too much to let you stay weak. I can't do it. It's not good for you. You won't get the results that you want if I allow you to stay this weak, whining, sniveling shell of the leader you could become. And that's the truth. There was once a mentor, like basically, I love you so much, I'm not gonna let you lie to yourself. And that's the facts, all right? That's the facts. Oh, wait, what? Somebody got kicked off? Hold on. Doo, 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 doo. What did I miss? Did I miss somebody? Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. Okay, so yeah, basically, ruthless compassion, perceived lack of empathy that leaders develop over time as a shell, as a defense mechanism. I won't lower the standard to protect your feelings. I will not co-sign your excuses because I care too much about you to let you stay weak. That's just how I go. I'm not gonna let you lie to yourself. You're not as good as you think you are, Chief. That's sometimes it comes down to that. Because if you were as good as what you're acting like, I can promise you your check would be far larger than what it is. Hmm. And that's just the truth. It's not that we don't care. It's not a lack of empathy and care for other people. It's perceived that way because it can be hard, but that's sometimes what needs to be said. And as we move on to the next point about leaders, Hector Lamarck, forget what company Hector with, but Hector was an amazing leader. And I remember Hector saying something that was absolutely crazy. Was he with ACM or Primerica? I forget who he was with. I don't know if Hector, I hope he's still alive. Hector was amazing. If you want to see some cold YouTube videos of a hardcore leader, pull up Hector Lamarck MLM training on YouTube and go look. It's all old from like the 80s and 90s, man. This is the thing. Hector would tell people who wanted him to mentor them or coach him or even sponsor them. He sponsored you. He was making so many millions, it was crazy. He said, I will sponsor you, but I will not work with you personally, direct mentor you. You just got to plug into the team trainers like everybody else. But I'm not going to work with you personally until you've been on auto ship and plugged in for 2 years and not missed an event. That was his rule. If you wanted Hector to work with you and train you and do meetings for you, you had to be in the business for 2 years on auto ship for all 2 years and never miss an event. And only then would he mentor you. Only then, only then. And it's because 80% of people ain't gonna do what need to be done. 70% of people gonna die broke anyway. So 70%, and yeah, their auto ship was in that $100 range, $200 range, somewhere up in there. Yeah, Claire. Yeah, it was a top auto ship. And the crazy part was he knew that 7 out of 10 people minimum that he would ever mentor were gonna quit, get disgruntled or fail or blame him even if he wasn't a sponsor. That happens all the time to leaders. I know it happened to Coach Marcus. If it ain't happened to Coach Seymour yet, it will. I can assure you. If it ain't happened to Miriam yet, it will. It will 100% happen to Tiara at some point in her career, guaranteed. It definitely happened to me for sure. It's just going to happen. And you got to understand that. So it comes a balance of time when you got to figure out, do I want to continue to just, mentor people and pour into them and give them the best I got, knowing that 70% of them ain't going to do the work no way. And then another 10 or 20 of them are going to whine and complain and make me out to be the bad guy at some point. You know what I'm saying? That's what you signing up for if you want to be a leader in this industry. Lamarck is spelled Lamarque. Yeah, Coach Marcus, no, you got to compartmentalize, man. And please don't have a family. Don't have a wife and kids. Don't have a whole family or a husband and kids, wife and kids. Don't have none of that. and still want to be a leader in this industry, and then you got to deal with a whole nother personality type, a whole bunch of other personalities that's learning to regulate their emotions as children and things like, man, Coach Charlotte know. Coach Charlotte will tell, she'll tell you, she's been there, done that. She know. All right, next thing about leaders, and this is super, super fun. Okay, leaders. All right, got this from Holton and the training that I watch once a month all year long. And be going through some things right now, but when he was on, he was on. So I can't never knock that, man. I love him. Think much bigger, much faster. Think much bigger, much faster. Leaders do that. They think much bigger, much faster. When I was first with my first network marketing company, I set a goal for myself and I said, I want to make $14,000 in the next 2 weeks. Not residual, just new money. And then I had to put a goal because we had an event coming up in 2 weeks, and I needed to make another 14,000 in 2 weeks to qualify to get some type of award or something. So I told the team, man, look, if y'all want to do it, I'm down to do it. We can all do it. It ended up being like 8 of us that got together to really execute a plan. And people's like, well, cool. I'm gonna try to make 14,000 too, but I might make 8,000 or 9 or 6,000 in 2 weeks or 7,000, which is still really good money even today. So imagine how much it was 10 years ago. And we put the plan together and we executed the plan, and then we achieved it. Okay. But I realized I should have thought even bigger than that. I don't know, because guess how much I made in that 2 weeks? It was 14,000, like 10 years ago, whatever. It's 14,000. I should have said 40. I didn't realize till far later in my career when some days I've made over $20,000 in a day. I think 26, 27,000 in a day, more than once. And I'm like, I should have been thinking way bigger. Okay, way bigger. This is the two Holden Bugs videos that I still watch to this day. I watched the one that's on GoPro. He's in a red jacket. It's like an hour and something long. I still watch that video once a month till this day. And there's another one called Cash Cow that's several hours long. And that one's a little bit dated, but it still is one of the best onboarding training videos I ever saw. Okay, so yeah, Cash Cow, and that's the only two I watch. And again, sometimes leaders evolve in a good way, sometimes evolve in a bad way. Sometimes leaders, like everybody, will have challenges in their life. I think this is a challenge season, but I'm prayerful that he'll come out of it, like the rock star that he's always been and the advocate of the industry he always been. But that being said, those are the two videos. Just one where he got a red jacket, you can't miss it, and then another one but it's like an hour and something long. And Hector Lamarque's last name is spelled Lamarque. Hector, common spelling, Lamarque. All right. So momentum is a skill, and the speed of income is a leadership trait. And the way that you develop that, you think much bigger, much faster, and you can compress time frames when you do that. All right. It's always a type of plan, strategy, and execution. So one great assignment that you can do we're going to be about. Give me about 8 more minutes. We'll go a little bit long. But thank y'all for your patience. I appreciate you. One of the things that you can do, you can set a plan, a target, and a deadline. And it really will help you to be intimately familiar with the pay plan of either company. So for example, I can tell you, GoDasana is going to be less money faster. HBN is going to be more money slower. All right, which is why we typically start with GoDasana, get people up to speed on the basics of everything, and then they'll do HBN as well. They'll start off in the NBA, and then they'll end up in the NFL too, right? It's just kind of how it goes. Then, so you set your plan for 2026 and your goal and your time frame for 2026. I don't care if it's a 1-week goal, 2-week goal, 1-month goal, 3-month goal, 6-month goal, whatever the goal is, but you set a goal, okay? Then you have to, after you set the goal, the plan, you get your strategy together. Like I said, the strategy, if you want to have a strategy, you have to be really, really keyed in on how the pay plan works. You have to know how the money works to set up the proper plan, or how the rank structure is built. Like going diamond at GoDasana is way different than going diamond at HBN. All right. We have in HBN, 2, maybe 3 diamonds that qualify for diamonds, 2 that qualify for diamond even remotely regularly, 2. And we got 1 double diamond. And we've been HBN since 2019. And as one of the diamonds, I can tell you it is significantly difficult to do. It takes a lot of work. And I don't know if people really are willing or even need to put in that amount of work. That's number one. Yeah, one double diamond and one diamond. That's it. That's it. Ain't nothing there. And no triple diamond. So it's different. At Godasana, we got like probably 50. I lose. Congratulations, y'all. But I finally lost track of all the diamonds. We got so many diamonds with Godasana. I just forgot. I remember the diamonds when it was really hard to go diamond. Now because it's simpler. It just is. Let's be real. It is. It's just so many of y'all, and I love it. I love it for you because you get the same 25% check match that we had to put in 100 orders for. So, so I don't feel played about it. If I was you, I'd be happy to. It is less volume to do it, but but you do need to understand the rank structure. So you get your plan, your target, and your deadline, and then you get your strategy together. What must happen to make that result inevitable? How much volume, how many people, how much this, how much that? And part of your strategy is getting members on your team and say, hey, this is a goal I have. How can I help y'all achieve some amazing goals so that my goal becomes automatic? If I want to make $100,000, if I've never done that before, I would say I want to find 10 people who want to make at least $10,000. And all I want to do is help y'all do that because I know that if I help 10 people in my organization make $10,000, I'm going to make 100,000 because that's how it works. That's how it works. Well, I just want to make $10,000. You want to make $10,000 in 2 weeks? That sounds daunting or difficult to you? Help 10 people make $1,000 each in the next 2 weeks. That's way more doable. It's way more doable. And that's how the pay plans work. Okay. But so you get the strategy together, and then some of y'all wheels are spinning. If your wheels are spinning right now, put wheels in the comment. I'm just curious. I just felt the vibe. Like some of y'all are thinking, hold up, I got to get a plan together for January. Some of y'all just thought that, and I know it. I heard it turning. Proud of y'all, whoever that is. I just heard it. All right. And then the last part is going to be execution. And it's what will you do today, not soon. In execution, you got to have your team. Okay, you got to have your team. So what I'll do, we did a really, really simple pay plan video for Godasana, and we posted that on YouTube. You can't miss it. It'll help you get it together. What I'm gonna do tonight after our international team call with Eve, what I'm gonna do is do one for HBN. We haven't done one for HBN in a long time. Let's do an HBN updated HBN rank pay plan video, and we'll do that. All right, moving on. But remember, dreams are free. Deadlines cost discipline. All right. Next up, the next 3 parts we'll try to go through quick for leaders. I think we're on number 4 or 5 or something like that. Leaders are going to bring vision. Leaders are going to cast a big vision. Okay. If you don't give a big vision, you can go to Kylie, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's Will Zanders on YouTube. And it's going to be one of the last 3 or 4 videos posted. It says, Godasana pay plan video. That's the name of it. Yep. All right. Oh, thanks, Coach Marcus. All right. So it says right here, leaders give people a reason to endure discomfort. I'm not frozen. I want you to really understand that. Okay. You got a big vision. The vision is what leaders have to have and transfer to people so that leaders have to give people a reason to endure the discomfort. Because you got to get out of your comfort zone a lot of times to be really good at this business. Vision sounds like we're feeding families, which we are. Shout out to y'all are going bananas with the Feeding America Challenge. So thank y'all for that. It is already bigger than what I could have possibly imagined. So thank you to our captains and y'all teams for the Feeding America Challenge. Y'all doing great, man. Y'all are making me very, very proud. Very, very proud. I cannot wait to see the numbers. Vision sounds like we're building legacy income because what I want for me is what I want for everybody. And part of that is a financial wall of security, okay, around your family that's so strong that nothing can get through it. I want you to have a financial wall of security so strong that goes around your family that nothing can get through it. It's recession proof, it's COVID proof, it's lose your job proof. It's the refrigerator break proof. I want you to have a financial wall of security around your family so strong, nothing get through it. That's the vision. That's what I want for me. I want that for everybody. I truly do. That's a vision. Okay. I want you to imagine and speak life into your team, telling them that you're becoming a team that everybody talks about. We've already been there and done that. Our time is done. The only thing that we love that even get us out of bed and shine in the morning is y'all's success and the vision that you have for your organization and your team. We love seeing y'all grow. We love seeing you win. I promise you there will be a point in your career where you might not be done working. I still got plenty of good years left for me to keep building businesses. I'm on this. I love doing this stuff. I love seeing y'all succeed and become great. I truly, truly do. And you will have that same type of love and admiration for your team. This is the last thing I'll tell you about having a big vision. And you got to have a big vision. Vision is what makes the pain make sense. There's going to be some tough days, believe that. And the tough days sometimes will not come from the network marketing business. The tough days will come from life while you're building your network marketing business. These businesses are remarkably simple to build. It's just about talking to people online or offline. Become a great communicator. Everybody want to make money. Everybody want to lose weight. Everybody want to be healthy. Become a better and better communicator and communicate to more and more people. It's a very, very simple thing to do. That's it. Side fight. You'll get T-boned on a Tuesday. Okay. Life is what makes this business hard. Look, a death of a family member is what life is way harder than this business. You got to have vision to even pretend to operate with the level of strength like Charlotte, Miriam, and Mark, and so many others, and Coach Seymour who've gone through things while in this industry and still keep pushing. Justin, everybody's going through stuff while you're in this industry. You in this industry long enough, you're going to go through some terrible things. That's life. The network marketing is not hard. Life is what's hard. All right. But the vision and being locked in on that vision is a magnet that'll keep pulling you into the future. And leaders understand that. All right. Leaders understand that. Okay. Next, we run a little bit long, but stick with me on this one. It's worth it. Leaders typically have the big idea. The big idea. It's typically one big idea and they just get it, or it's like 2 or 3 small ideas that work together. Leaders don't have 100 ideas. They got like 1 to 3 ideas that hit like missiles that really change everything. It'll be people. It can be a recruiting thing that they do things. It can be a challenge. It can be a funnel. It can be anything. Just put it this way. Do y'all see how a lot of you are the people who are participating in the Ageless Athletes Fitness Challenge? Do you notice how receptive and responsive people are to you asking for donations to help feed the homeless when you have all of the facts and transparency that we gave you in the video? Do you see how people are way more likely to literally just hand you money and trust you, okay, to do the right thing? Because I trust you to do the right thing. I don't collect nothing. The captains collect that, and they got screenshots and verification for everything. Every dollar will be accounted for, right? But thank you, Tommy. The servant leadership aspect of it, people are far more engaging in that than they are if you post about your business 27 times a day. That's a lesson there. It's a lesson there. All right. But there's sometimes an idea that you can have that make things go great. It's like if you have the right idea or ideas, and if you add to that violent consistency, that's what you got to have when you have the right idea. That's going to equal the domination. That's what's going to make the magic happen. The right idea, 1, 2, 3 ideas, combined with violent consistency, that will equal the big win that you want. When Organo Gold was hot, and they did a combination of 2 incredible ideas that blew them up. And I can tell you because I watched the whole thing happen. My mentors were all there making millions. I was on the periphery watching back then, right? They had, coffee being a brilliant product as it is, but they had the coffee questions and they had personal development. That Organo Gold team that Shane Moran and Holton and Ron Goals and Ramasio and them built back in like 2005 or 6 or something like that. They were huge internationally. They had a thing where they reintroduced personal development to network marketing because it was gone for a minute. That was their three ideas that made them $1 billion company. Personal development for the field. They were huge on sampling, massive on sampling, just getting product into the marketplace, sampling. And they had 4 coffee questions that were solid gold that Shane Moran paid a psychologist to write. He paid thousands of dollars to a psychologist to write these, and we've even made verifications on there, and they were made. But they had 3 kind of small, medium-sized ideas that made them $1 billion company. You can look at Coach Steph. I talked to Coach Steph a day or two ago because they were doing a football challenge that was based on our football challenge that we did. We trade ideas back and forth, her Marcus and I sometimes. And we're all $1 million earners. It's what it is, right? Coaches think she's a $2 million earner. She's multiple with this company now, which is awesome. And so what ends up happening is the way she did Bye Bye Belly, that was an idea. That was an idea. She got the access to the same products everybody else got. It was an idea. Why didn't I mix this, do that? High risk, high reward. And it worked. Sometimes it's just an idea. Sometimes some of you, this is for somebody, I don't know who, this might be for me. Sometimes you're praying for more money because you like it. You can do good things with it, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes it's hard for your subconscious mind to accept more income. It's not hard for your subconscious mind to accept a new idea. You see what I'm saying? A new idea. Yeah, and people can pray for wisdom. And that's what I love. This is the best part about Sana brought a great point. And I get that a lot when we do Bible class and people have great questions like, well, Solomon didn't pray for money. Solomon prayed for wisdom and God gave Solomon money and everything else. Solomon was David's son. He already had money. I just want to be clear. Solomon was doing great. Solomon was doing fantastic before that. So I just want you to know it's a different, when you're the son of the king of the king, before Jesus came, it was David. Solomon was fine, y'all. He didn't have to pray for money. He was Solomon, man. So just understand it's different for a lot of us than it was for King Solomon. But the principle's still the same. But yeah, but praying for wisdom or an idea or ideas, the right idea, and that wisdom, knowledge, that's all right there. That sometimes is easier for you to accept and hear those answers. So think about that. Another thing that leaders do is wrap things about 3 more. Perspective. A leader's advantage is how they see things. Okay. A team is very, very lucky if a leader shares their perspective. It's a rare air type of thinking because just because we have a unique perspective on it, we don't always feel inclined to share that. Okay, perspective is very unique, and perspective will turn an ordinary action into record-breaking outcomes. But perspective, a lot of times, only comes from experience, age, wisdom, divine revelation. Like a unique perspective that can help you only comes from a certain number of places. So that's something that leaders have as well. Another thing about leaders, and these are leaders who have achieved tremendous results, because you got leaders and then you got the leaders of leaders, right? And typically what separates those is somewhere between leaders is 7 figures, leaders of leaders be 8, okay? Typically that's what separates it. Leaders have done all they can do. Like the leader of leaders, they've done all they can do. That's where I aspire to be. We still trucking, right? Have you ever really done all you could do? Have you, like, honestly, people say, well, I'm trying everything. Are you, Bobby? Are you really? I'm just using the name Bob. No apologies to anybody named Bob watching this. I'm not talking about you, bro. But have you really talked to everybody, Bob? Everybody? Everybody? They got 8 billion people in the world. Did you just tell me you talked to everybody? Well, no, I haven't talked to everybody. Okay, so now we can have a conversation because you're not fooling yourself about the amount of effort you put in. Okay, you haven't talked to everybody. Nobody's talked to everybody, right? Think about that. Okay, but I'm trying everything. I'm doing everything. Are you real? Are you really? Are you really trying tell me, everything? Everything. There's over 700 verified ways and books to build a business just off recruiting. There's another 1,000 on mindset. You really you tried everything? Everything? Well, no, maybe not everything. Okay, now we can have a real conversation. because you've never really done all you can do. No one's really done all they can actually do. And the best part about that is you don't have to. You got to do enough. You got to do a lot more than you think, but you don't have to talk to everybody. That's 7 billion people. You'll never make it. You don't have to try everything. Some stuff is out of your comfort, so far out of your comfort zone or so far out of your budget that you couldn't do it if you wanted to. It's just, it doesn't resonate with you, but that's okay. You don't have to try everything and do everything, but you need to do all you can do. But that doesn't mean that you did everything or talk to everyone. But people say that. They're so casual about it. But the right leader would be like, did you, did you really? And leaders don't make no excuses. All right. You're never out of options. You might be just running low on resourcefulness, but you're never out of excuses, no stories, no blame. They don't blame the market. They don't blame the holidays. The only thing really blocking your success is going to be your own behavior. It's always a you versus you game. That's something that leaders really understood. Okay. Now, the last two things I'll give you are from two different people who have made $1 million a month earners a thing, because they made $1 million a month, over $1 million a month for years and years and years. One of them still is. Okay, one of them retired, one of them still is. Still making millions of dollars, million a month. All right, just understand that. Now it's 8:15, we're 15 minutes long, we're on a call and I wanted to be. We can save this part. I know what y'all gonna say, but I gotta be polite and ask. We can save this part for Tuesday after Coach Seymour's part, or we can finish it up tonight. We got two parts left. Two lessons from $1 million monthly earners. Well, thank you. I'm getting to know y'all pretty well. Thank you, but I had to ask. We let the group decide. Number one, this was so important. The guy said when he was going to, he set his goal. He's going to be the first $1 million a month earner with his company. He said that negativity is contagious. And part of the three things he was going to do after he set his goal for $1 million a month, that was one he did. The second thing he did was he said, I'm going to eliminate all negativity out of my life until I achieve this goal. It was some family members he wouldn't talk to, friends, coworkers. He would just not, he would act like he didn't hear you at all. And he said some people didn't need coaching. He realized this as he was growing his team. You help the team, you get to $1 million a month. He said some people didn't need coaching, they needed distance. He was saying social distancing years before COVID, but he was talking about people. He said you cannot and will not achieve those type of numbers if you have negativity around you. This is why having the right partner is so important. The most important decision you ever make is the person you're going to call your husband or your wife, because if they negative, you stuck with them, bro. And your money is going to do this and do that, because money hates negativity. It hates it. It only likes fun and positivity. So you got to really pick the right person, because if you don't, you will be shocked at the level of results. Shocked. And I have been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. So just understand that when I was first starting out in this industry, I was a very different me, and I was with a very, very different individual than I am now. So please understand, you got to watch that, man. And it can be tough for y'all that are married to negative people. I'm sorry, and I can't do nothing about that. I am not, but that's the reality, that the negativity, man, it just is something about the frequency and vibration negativity. It just keeps you may think you're doing great. You could be doing so much better, but you got to work with what you got. And I'll leave that there. I'm not a marriage counselor. Carry on. I wish everybody the best. Second thing, and this is the last thing, and this is from a separate $1 million a month earner. Yeah, look, till death do you part. It might be the death of some people. That's how it go. I've seen it. All right. So retention. All right. Retention is the foundation of $1 million a month earner. And you have to set the proper foundation and keep the core together long enough to grow the $1 million a month business on top of the foundation. All right. Now let me explain what that means. We have two videos at two different websites that we pay for, that we use as tools for the team, and we love them. Number one is going to be Streak When You Slump. And the second one is streakwhenyouslump.com. And the second one is going to be don'tquitmlm.com. I highly recommend, if you don't do nothing else tonight, you watch at least one of those videos. Don't Quit MLM is the short one. And thank you, Coach Marcus. And Streak When You Slump is the long video. But I highly recommend you watch both of them before the end of the year, but at least watch one of them tonight, or at least both of them tonight. They are incredible tools that we typically know to send to people right when they're about to mentally check out and quit. And a lot of times you have to self-administer that type of medicine. You know you on the fence and you about to fade out, do yourself a favor. Look at your 20 reasons why, look at your list or your top 4, okay? Look at your top 4, and then you go, I'm not sure if they're on YouTube or not. I know they're at the websites that we have, streakwhenyouslump.com and don'tquitmlm.com. They're both there. And so then what you end up doing is you look at your top 4 reasons and get reconnected to why you even doing this business. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, okay? And then number 2, you watch don'tquitmlm.com. And then that's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Then you watch streakwhenyouslump.com, that audio, that might be like an hour or so, but you watch that audio, you take notes, and then you execute the game plan in that audio. That's one level of retention that keeps you showing up and keep you from resetting your identity as a quitter. Once you start quitting stuff, it's hard for you to stop. You'll become a quitter, okay? Now, the thing that the last $1 million a month earner we'll talk about tonight said, in addition to those retention tools, which we talk about, what he said was the proper foundation for $1 million a month business is you will never find a better friend than him. That's what he said. He said, you'll never outfriend me. And that's the end of the whole video. He said, you'll never outfriend me. He said, I can't give you the best deal, this, that, or a third, but you won't find a better friend than me. And it's tough to be a really, really good friend. It's hard when people go to events and ain't got nowhere to stay. And you like, man, I'll get you somewhere to stay. Then they don't even show up at the event. Been there, done that, but I was trying to be a good friend. It's hard when you try to do things to look out for people. You know what I'm saying? You let loan people money. Listen, never do none of that, by the way. I'm just letting you know. If they're not directly sponsoring your team, don't do that. It's a terrible idea. But I'm just saying things I've done over the years, just trying to be a good friend to people. You know, you loan people money and never pay you back. Loan people money, they talk bad about you 6 months, like, what? Then they quit. You see what I'm saying? You got to just understand this, that being a good friend, it is going to be very difficult for you to be a good friend. Yeah, everybody's been burned by reps. It's hard being y'all. It's hard being everybody. But it is going to be hard being a good friend. I'm just letting you know that. But here's the proper foundation. If you know you need 2 people at HBN, 3 at Go to Sauna, you don't need 5 people. You need 3. And I'll give you the 3 frontline people you need for Go to Sauna and 2 people at HBN and 1 bonus. You know, if you got a Yusef Willoughby or Coach Marcus Jones and you were lucky enough to sponsor one of them, you know Yusef Willoughby ain't never quitting. He might not be on every call or every, guess what? He's never quitting. You see what I'm saying? You know, if you sponsor Will Zanders, he might not, but no, he probably will be at every event and every call, but he ain't never gonna quit. You see what I'm saying? Look, so he never gonna quit. Like me and him are like this. Like we like this. Like Coach Marcus and Coach Seymour like this. Like the only way I'll die first. Like that's what Yusef understands about me. That's what he understands. If Will isn't supporting and looking out and locked in permanently with what we're doing together from me and Yusef day one with a company called Zija International that's closed now. If not, one of us is dead if we're not supporting. That's the way Travis is brand new to the team, but Yusef, me and Travis, we all played ball together as kids, way back in the day. We've been like this. It's no debate. You couldn't pry us out of here with a crowbar, not because of the company, not because of the product, not because of the pay plan, because of the people. That's what you really have to understand. If you understand that part of it, the people that give you a hard time and all of the negativity that comes and this, that, and the third, none of that will matter because at the end of the day, you got your rock solid 2, 3, 4. If you got 5, you lucky. You are lucky. But if you got your locked in group of three and y'all, we do everything together, your tribe, that's a wrap. You have laid the proper foundation for $1 million business and you didn't even know it. Lillian said she tried to quit. She just can't. It's in her soul. I could never quit on Lillian Corbett. I couldn't do it. I didn't sponsor Lillian. It doesn't matter. That's still like my family at this point. Again, it's been so long. I could never quit. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't quit on it, man. Can't. Won't do it. And that is the proper type of foundation for growth. Because if all you ever did, if you forgot the whole rest of this hour and 20-minute call, you forgot all of that. And all you remembered was, I need two or three of my best friends in life, and I'm going to go upside their head and get them to really understand what we're doing in this business and how we are going to build something special. And we are never going to quit on each other, period, point blank, end of story. We're just not going to do it. All I have to do is work with them until they become the type of people that will have friends that are that close with them. And that's the craziest part. I didn't know Keith Foster. Yusef did. So don't think just because you got your three, trust me, they got a three somewhere too. They got a three. They got a two or a three somewhere too. All right. That's just how it happens. And that's the proper foundation for $1 million a month business. But you gotta understand how valuable that is. Like, who are your people? I know we talked at the beginning of the call about having a team. You need a team, 20, 30 people, 40, 50 people before you start really getting leadership level. Even if you never worried about that and all you focused on, well, who do I even have friends that close? If not, you probably need to work on yourself. But there are going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 people in your life that are so close to you beyond hot market. Like, we don't do illegal stuff, but if Trav and Yusef called me and said, "Well, we about to start selling crack like El Chapo," why not? I'm in, bro. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, I'm joking, but my point is that's the type of relationship you got to have with some people. Coach Simo and Coach Marcus say, "Well, we about to start running guns across the border." That's gonna be dangerous, man. Well, hell, all right. Well, pick me up. We probably get Jerry Jones on the way. If we running guns out of Texas, we got to get Tommy involved. That's how that will go. Then we call Charlotte, and then we call Tiara. Then we call Jess. We call our military people, Jess and Charlotte. We need y'all to work with Tommy, coordinate. We can get these guns across the border. And Tiara, we need you to be the front of the operation because Tiara's an angel. Have y'all never met Tiara in person? Tiara's a little angel. Miss Charlotte might punch you in the face if you wilding out. Tiara is the sweetest human, one of the top 10 sweetest humans ever. She would have to be the face of our organization. Because nobody would ever think she'd do anything wrong. They wouldn't even believe it. So that's my point. You get a crew of people like that. That is all you really need. Look, Miriam say, "Don't forget me, Miriam. We are trying to leave you out of this bad stuff now." Now, Shauna, Boston Celtics fan, so they about gambling. She'll come rock with it. But Miriam, we trying to let you be at peace now. We ain't trying to get you involved with us hoodlums now, right? So my point is, if that's all you ever focused on was having that type of crew, no, Kanasha, you better not be laughing, because you and Elizabeth would be running dope clean out of Michigan. You are not fooling me. Y'all be on 8 Mile. I ain't falling for y'all. Y'all be cool. Y'all got some hustler in y'all. Both of y'all do. I know it because I see it in myself. All right, but that's my point. You gotta, if you have people like that that are gonna be with you like this, that is the proper foundation to growth. And when you understand that, it makes the rest of the game even simpler than it ever was before, because three who get three. Wow, that was quick. Three who get three. Now we at 27. That's how you do it. That's how it's always been done. It was done that way before social media. It'll be done that way after AI and all this other technology becomes something else. But if you get it down to that, you'll be good to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is the proper foundation to grow. Don't let anybody out-friend you. All right. All right. We ran a little bit long on that one. Thank y'all so much. We will see y'all tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We got the testimonial call. That is always a blast. Then Tuesday night, we got the one and only Coach Seymour Greenwich Blake. So we got Coach Marcus Monday, Coach Seymour Greenwich Blake Tuesday. And if we have some time after Coach finishes up on Tuesday, I will finish up the list of the reasons people quit your business so that you don't have to. All right. Thank y'all so much for your time. Love y'all. God bless y'all. Can't wait to see y'all in Vegas. It's gonna be lit. And yeah, Eve, give me a shout on Messenger and we'll do our international call right after this. All right. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much.